So grocery shopping is a scary, scary feat for a lot of people, and it happens to be one of my most favorite things to do. I can spend hours and hours in a grocery store, especially one like this, the Good Earth in Fairfax. I mean, it is seriously one of the most unique places. Everything in here is fabulous, and sometimes I find things that I've never even heard of, which is why I love coming here, because they've got the in on everything that's healthy and unique and vegan and raw and blah, blah, blah. So find your local store that works for you, but definitely venture out and explore it, kind of like a little vacation. Don't be afraid of grocery stores. I'm going to take you in to this particular store. We're going to walk you through some of the sections that I think are imperative. What to stock in your pantry, what to put in your freezer, what to have in your refrigerator. These are really important things to know on a weekly basis, and feel safe and comfortable in knowing that each week you can have your staples, and then you can explore outside of that for whatever's fresh and unique. Start adding to it. It's kind of like a wardrobe. You know, you want to weave the new seasonal stuff in, but you want to make sure that you have the mainstay every single day. So we're going to go inside and we're going to do a whole series of little snippets on what to look for in your grocery store. All right? Thank you, Good Earth. So green is your favorite color. This is the color that you want to put a lot of in your body. And when we're at the grocery store, there are so many choices. It's really important to know which ones you want to stock up on and buy weekly, and which ones you want to buy when they're seasonal. So there's a lot of kale and lettuces and chards and vibrant greens that you should always have in your pantry, always have in your refrigerator for smoothies, for salads, for roasting, for whatever it is that you're making. Know that green is your friend. Make sure that when you're in your produce section at the grocery store that you look for what's freshest, what looks the freshest, and preferably local. And a lot of really good stores will say that their produce is from a local area. They'll tell you where it's from. That will give you an indication of how far it's traveled to get there, and that'll indicate how fresh it is for you. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of different kinds of kales, and kale, you know, is the superfood of all. But this is a curly kale. Now you can use this for any kind of the salad. You break it up. It's also great to making kale chips. This is wonderful in smoothies as well. It tends to be a little woodier than, let's say, the dino kale. The dino kale is a lot softer, a lot more tender. This is also nicely chopped into a kale salad. I prefer this one in general. It's more vibrant and green. These are better for chips. This is better for smoothies. This particular one is a purple kale. It's somewhere in between. It seems to be more tender than the woody kale. Has a lot more color. I always say more color is better. You've got your chards. This is a rainbow chard, which comes in all these different colors. You got the yellow, the red. It doesn't make for a pretty juice because it turns kind of brown, but it is full of vibrancy, full of life, extremely wonderful. And of course, there's always just plain chard. All right, so here we have a celery root, which is amazing, concentrated of celery, and then you've got your turnips, and you've got some burdock root, and then of course you've got all these turnips and radishes and beets, and what these are called are root tubers. And basically root tubers are grounded, wonderful foods that I think are fabulous in soups and stews and any kind of cooked vegetable that you want to. It brings their earth vibration into your soups and stews. I use them a lot, especially in the fall. They're very grounding. They're very earthy. Okay, fresh sprouts are literally the highest vibrancy food on the planet. Think of it, when it's coming up from the earth and it sprouts is when it has the most energy, most vibration. So if you can find fresh sprouts in your local market, definitely buy them, juice them, put them in salads, eat them however you can. Remember, this is something that you want to have as often as you can to create a youthful glow and to really reinforce life force energy. So sprouts are key. So the avocado is the meat of the raw food diet. This time of year, when tomatoes are in season, avocados are in season, this is a fabulous time to be making raw soups, gazpachos, eating this whole. This is a local avocado. This is a reed avocado, super meaty, super thick, super creamy. And you've got Hass avocados. There are so many different kinds. Make sure you have avocados on hand at all times. And check out these tomatoes. You ever seen anything like that? These are all wonderful tomatoes in season. Pop these in. This is fresh fruit, better than cherries. Oh my gosh, seriously delicious. So it's really important when buying produce that you want to buy fresh fruit in season. And know what's seasonal. Come fall, you want your apples, your oranges, bananas. They tend to be all year long. But then in the summertime, know that you're going to get lots of melons. You're going to get lots of peaches and tree fruits that are just vibrant. Dates and nuts, those are all in the fall. It's very important to buy the fruits that are in season. Now, if you are looking for a particular recipe and craving a peach and it's February, know that you're not going to get full vibrancy from that vegetable or fruit because it's coming from a different location and it's probably been shipped a very long distance, and you're not going to get the enzymatic activity that you want from something that's freshly picked. Stocking up on fresh fruit is kind of a touchy thing because you really know that fresh fruit will go bad pretty quickly. 3 to 5 days is probably the limit. So be very conscious of which fruits you're picking and how many. Fresh rhubarb in season, yum. Always try something new. Okay, so when we get to the frozen food section, one of the things we talk about is coconut bliss, and that's coconut-based ice creams, but there's also great cashew-based ice creams and almond-based ice creams that you can make your milkshakes with. These are great things to have when you're having a sweet tooth. Make sure you have a few of these different flavors in your freezer at all times so that whenever the urge is hitting you, you've got some wonderful choices. Check out your local market for what they have in stock, because you'll have a local store. For example, what they're selling in New York is not necessarily what they're selling in San Francisco. So definitely check out your local market and see what's hot in your area that's dairy-free. Okay, you've heard me talk about a lot of the brands I like. I like the Pacific and the Almond Dream and all the Hemp Bliss, but look at all these different flavors and choices. We've got coconut milk. All these are in a boxed container, and this is how they used to always come, and you probably find them in any local market just like that. But if you come on over here, you'll see that in the refrigerator section, not only do they have dairy, but we've got coconut. We've got coconut creamers, and we've got almond milks, and we've got coconut milks. We've got a whole host of different kinds of milks that are in the refrigerator section now. So check out your local market. Make sure you have them in your refrigerator at all times. If you do open those, of course, put them in your refrigerator. I feel better about something I buy refrigerated, and I'm not sure why. There's a big difference because this is pasteurized anyway. But know that the most important thing is to make your own. Make your own when possible. This is a great backup. Now we're so lucky now to have gluten-free breads everywhere, and these are leavened breads and sprouted breads and amazing things. Always look for them in your refrigerator section because they are considered a more lively food. They're going to turn a lot faster. So you want to buy them in the refrigerator, you want to store them in the refrigerator at home. So what we have here is a whole host of different foods. We've got millet and brown rice and almond and multi-seed and sprouted, and it just goes on and on and on. Hemp breads. And then of course we've got your leavened breads that are made with seeds and fresh fruits and vegetables. Seriously, carrot bread here. So these are the kinds of things you want to put in your body if you're going to eat a bread. That whole Weber's and whole wheat stuff that you see in the grocery store really isn't doing you any good. Cut wheat out completely and look for sprouted green breads. Stock up, and you know what? You can always put them in your freezer when you take them home and you think, I want to have it on hand, but I don't want to eat it this week. Put it in your freezer and then pull it out. Bread does very well in the freezer. In fact, all baked goods, gluten-free or not, can be stored in freezer. So make sure you check out your green section in your store. Vitamineral Green. This is a great product to have on hand at all times. If you're not getting your green juice in, make it with the Vitamineral Green. It's fabulous in coconut water in the morning, first thing when you get up. What that does is immediately goes in and alkalizes the body. You've heard me talk about chlorophyll. Chlorophyll with water is fabulous. I mix it with a little bit of cranberry and apple juice in the morning. This is a great way to flush the system, re-alkalize it right off the bat, first thing in the morning. I always say first thing in the morning because when you wake up and you detox, it's nice to put in something that creates a vibrancy. It's much better than caffeine, right? Sun chlorella tablets. This is what you hear me talking about all the time. You can get that in the local market, health food store usually, or you can get it online. Don't forget, online is our friend. You can take about 18 to 20 of these a day. This is actually a really nice protein for your body, and it also realkalizes. Fabulous to travel with. See how small that is? Speaking of traveling, one of the things that I love about this particular brand is that they come in this size container. This is Elixir of the Lake, and this is an algae, but the vitamin mineral green you can find in this size as well. Great to stick in your travel bag and take with you on any trip. Check out your section. Everybody has their favorites. This is mine. I pointed them out. We have so many wonderful products to choose from. And of course, you can always look online for this, but these are things that you definitely want to have in your pantry.